Hi everyone, Shah here from Gradia Studio, and today we have a beginner tutorial with Blender and Luxcore. So if you don't know write the engine and you want to start, this is a good project to start. So you will learn in this tutorial how to create this scene with the glass cup cocktail and how to set up correctly the engine and the material to get this result. So the first thing you need to do is to model the glass cup following a reference. So for this purpose I have a reference inside of the computer here. So I take this reference, okay, and we will be following this diagram here. We need to have our liquid overlapping with the glass cup like here. So maybe this part will be accelerated to make the tutorial short. So let's go. Now we need to model everything, the fruit and also the stick here and the ice cube and the bubble inside of the liquid. For the bubble we will be using an icosphere and also add a particle so that we have all the bubble inside our liquid. First let's model the fruit. Our liquid, and now we need to add a wood stick, add the ice cube, then we need to add the bubble inside. For that we are going to use the liquid shape here, Shift D, press P to separate, make it a different object, and use decimate to reduce the number of vertices and to make it a bit even, so that we have okay, this is more even, okay, like this. Okay, so we can apply and we have our shape for our volume bubble object. So now we have the bubble, this will be our bubble. You can rename it, so rename the bubble container or emitter. Okay, now we need to add the particle inside. Use R and advanced source volume and change to random, and then here in render go from path to object, select the bubble here. So you see that we have everything inside. You can change the scale, this, and the number of the bubble. Okay, this looks nice. and we don't want the emitter to be shown at the render, so we just uncheck this box. We can also make it transparent in the viewport wire like this. Then we want to make the size of the air emitter a little small so we don't see the bubble inside of the glass cup thickness. So we have it like this. Okay, this looks nice, and I think everything is okay. Now we start the shading step and also the setup of the we start the setup of the lighting. So we can remove everything here so that everything are apparent. Okay, so now if we displace, if we transform or change the position of the glass cup, we take everyone with us. Now we can put here, put the glass cup level and change the origin to the custom. Okay, nice. Now we need to change the scale of the object to fit real life scale. So there's two square are 2 meters, so we need this one to be 15 centimeters. So let's reduce it. Currently it is 30, so half here. Okay, select everything. Okay, select everything here and apply the scale. Okay, this is normal. We need to reduce this guy. Okay, nice. Apply the scale. Everything seems to be correct now. So let's go for the setup of the studio. So we will do a simple trick to add the studio. We just add a simple cube, reduce the cube, add something like this, make it a bit up like this, and then you have to delete the front face. And then you have to add a small plate like a support for the glass cup. This support will be reflective, and I let a little space between the glass cup and the support so that we have a bit of reflection. You can really understand in the tutorial. Now we need to add a subsurface on the shape of the cube here. So from here, add subsurface or Ctrl 2 on the subsurface. Please, okay. Shape smooth. And now we need to add a camera. And put it here. Okay, everything is correct, and we have a camera. Position the camera. Now we need to split the view. Just change the render engine to Luxcore. Also use material node. If you don't know how to install the engine, you have a tutorial on it in the channel. Then we want to place our camera and change the ratio here so that we have something that fits the shape of our image. And also, if you look here, you will see that we have a 15mm focal length. This will add a lot of perspective to the object. We need something very flat like this one, so we use something higher like triple the number. Here that we still see the circle on the oval circle on the top here. We want to reduce this phenomenon, so just go up like this, and when you don't see the circle anymore, you see this circle. When you don't see it, you can stop and use this one to adapt now the position of, so that you clean the shape here. So you can do it like this and everything seems correct. Now if you go here, you will see that let me split again the view. So for everyone having issue with the viewport of Luxcore, here is a trick. You can split your view like I have done here. I have some windows on the sides and lock to render region, so you have less computation, and then here you can disable this part and save, and you can render. So this will be very quick to see every change. So if you select something here, you will see that it moves pretty fast. Okay, no problem. So now you see that the lighting is pretty boring. This is the reason is that we have a skylight as a lighting, so we don't need that. We need to have a black surrounding, so we put black. Now we don't have any lighting inside, so we want to resolve this. So the thing we want to do is to add some spotlight on the top, on the back, and on the each side here, so that we have some reflection from the geometry inside of our glass top. So let's do this. First we need to add the first light. This will be the spotlight, this one. Okay, and position the spotlight so that you have the spot right in the middle here. And you need also to change the scale, put it the blend, so you smooth everything here and increase the scale. We still need to see some gradient here on the border, so let it like this. And now that we have our first spotlight, we can save and start adding material to our object. So the material we add will be the glass, everything which is glass. So we'll be following this diagram. So in Luxcore you have some feature called volume priority. It is for the engine to correctly understand the relationship between every volume glass object we have in our scene. So for the liquid we will use 1. For the glass cup, the liquid will be always the smallest priority, 1. The glass cup will be the highest. It can be a bottle, so it will be 3. And for everything inside, the ice cube and the air will be 2. So you can keep this one, and let's start. So in Luxcore, to add a material, you come here in the material section, you add the material. So let's add 3 of them, and the first one will be the glass cup. The second one will be liquid, and the third one to be the ice cube, and the fourth will be the air bubbles, and next one will be our foot, and next one will be the wood stick. Okay, so let's start with the glass cup. We need a glass, so we have a preset here, check glass. So you start to see very nice here, and we need, if you remember well, to add the priority for the glass is 3, So for that you need a volume, so we select a clear volume because it is a transparent one. Clear volume, and priority here is set to 3, like in our diagram here. And the second object is the liquid, so we add a glass also, this one, and volume clear connected to the interior volume here, and the liquid is 1, put 1, and we have a color for the liquids. So our liquid can be green, yellow, depend on us. So I will put something between green and yellow here, and you can see that we don't see the color of the object here. So for that we need 3 things. So one is to increase the total path of the specular and the total path here. So let's use 42 here and also 42 here. And the second thing we want to add is a light to be able to see the reflection here. So let's first set the liquid mesh and add a signed material to it. Okay, now we need to add a light on the top so we can start to see the liquid inside. So we add a light, area light this time. So we come with a large area light, but you can see we have to change this one. So we don't want the area light to be seen by the camera, so we go up a bit and change the scale from 1. We have a small area light, and for the moment we keep it like this, and you see that the color of the liquid is there, but still it is white. So to change this you need to change the absorption depth. So for the moment it is 1 meter. What is the meaning behind it? It means that for your object to display this color you need a 1 meter thickness. So here we have at least 5 or 6 centimeters, so it will be very white like it is actually. So we need to reduce the absorption, so something like 0.1 or even less, 0.03. so we start to see the liquid changing color. So we can improve this by increasing the light here, so we start to see, but we can also improve the visibility here by adding more light to the scene. So duplicate the spotlight, switch to cursor and start to add lights on the side of our studio box, so 1 on each side. So if we come here we start to see we have some dry spots here and there. Okay, this seems to be correct again. The next thing we need to do is to add the ice cube material. So let's start adding this, select the ice cube. And also one thing we need to change is that we still have the emitter inside of our object. We didn't rename it, so I think it is here and I'm not seeing it. Okay, it is padded, so it is hidden behind the, okay, it is this guy here, air emitter. So we need to, for the moment, to hide this guy in the viewport. It is messing with the look of the, okay, now you see correctly the liquid color. Okay, So this part is solved. Now let's add a reflective surface, black reflective surface for the support. So you can choose a Disney, make it dark for the surface, and we'll choose the roughness here and refresh the render, so we start to see the reflection down. Correct and nice. And one more thing, if we put the surface, we don't let a bit of space, you start to see that the down part is black. So I increase the resolution so you can see. You see that currently it is brighter, but if you merge the two space, you will see that it will be dark like this. So we let a little bit of space so it helps the engine to scatter some rays down here. Okay. Nice. Now we need to add a shader for the fruit here. So select the fruit. We need the fruit to be a little bit translucent. Oh, remove this guy. Take fruit and add a glossy translucent. And if you look here, you will see the level of transmission here. So the darker the color here, the more light will pass through the object. So you see here, and the brighter here, the more light will pass through also. So you see that transmitted is 1, so it is white and very transmissive. So if you come here, you see that we have a lot of light scattering inside of our object. So we don't need the diffuse color of the fruit to be black, so increase the color here and we put it like olive, and the inside also we need something close to the inside of such a fruit, so something here in the middle. And this one we can increase the color to make it less transmissive, and so we have a kind of fruit for our. I will choose the so instead of clear glass, we select a rough glass here, and we can increase here 5, and also can add you can add the ice cube material to the second glass object. Okay, now come the priority. So we have already put the priority for the liquid 1, and also for the glass object 3. So we need to put the same for the ice cube here. Add ice cube here, volume, and the ice cube is priority 2, and we need also to put something for the air bubble here. Check air. For air we use glass, clear volume also, and this comes with a nice theme. So to create air, you need the priority to be 2, right? But you need the index of refraction to be very precise. So if you don't know the index of refraction of each volume, so you can come here in util and set index refraction preset, connect it here. Here for example we need air, so we type air and we have air here. You can choose the first one or the second one. So we have our air here, so you can select this guy here, select this one, copy, Ctrl C, then here Ctrl V, connect it here, and this is the ice cube, so we can type in ice, water ice, change the refraction index, Control V again, connect it, and this is the glass cup here, so glass cup, which is common glass, so common glass here, this one, and the liquids, we passed again our thing, it is ethanol, so this one for alcohol. So I think everything is correctly set up, so let's restart again. Okay, if we remember well, our object is not visible, our air emitter is not visible here, so we cannot see it on the viewport, so we need to render to be able to see it. We can reduce the resolution here, so the render is, and if you have a GPU, you can switch to GPU. You can also increase the glossy, as we have a rough glass here, so rough glass reflection is ruled by this parameter, so we need to increase it at least to 16, and also we need to add a clamping, so we can start with 100, so we will remove the fireflies. We can also add the noiser, so you can check this box. If you have a GPU, you already change here. You can also change your viewport here from CPU to GPU, and also change here from Optis to Oiden, but in the viewport Optis is a bit faster, so I keep it like this, and let's render. So before that, we can set alt condition. This is important, but because by default Luxcore will render indifferently, so you need to put alt condition so that you can use time or sample. We'll use sample here and tell the engine to render for just 64 sample, so at this moment it will stop. So let's render. So you see that just 5 seconds and the sample is already reached, so we can increase this one to 5.6, maybe increase the render size again, because we also have the noiser, so we can even denoise results. So let's see what happened. You already start to see the inside, the board side here. You can see the nice reflection at the back here. It's nice. You can see it looks already clear and nice. We can improve it by setting the color of the power of each light we have here. So the render is finished. We can set up the denoiser, and you see that we have almost a perfect image here. So one more thing we need to do is to set up correctly the lighting. So now we can tweak a bit the lighting. So if you look here, so 1 second, I change it again here and set image, render result, and denoised. Okay, so you can see that here we have some internal reflection from the reflection from the glass, but we have still some dark spot inside of our glass. So to have perfect reflection inside your glass, you need 64 for specular, so I put 64. If you are doing architectural rendering and you don't have a lot of glass, and you don't need to go that higher, but for object like this you need a full reflection, so 64 is a good value. It can be very good also for jewelry, and you will see that in the next tutorial. And the second thing, you see that we have a dark spot here we can clean this part, because this part is due to the fact that the glass is reflecting the top side. So to remove this issue, we need to make the spot, the area like here, a bit larger. So you see, just select it and increase the size. So you see, with a larger size, we see that we have less issue here. So this part, the V dark spot, is gone. And also we have also already increased the level of ray boons for the specular object, which is the glass. And now we need to increase the power of the spot here. For example, we can go to 5. It's a bit too much. 2 is good. And increase also, there's 1, 2. This one also to put. I think this is correct. We can now have more contrast in the color management. So you can here, color management, switch normal to high contrast, and I think this is correct. Let me reduce the power of the lights here. This one 1.5. Okay, so now we can render again, and you will see the difference between the two. Switch noise, combine. The background and display the results after 30 seconds. But now the render is finished and we have our results ready. So the noise, and you see that you have everything correct. Now we miss the stick here. We can simply add a diffuse material and wood stick. Yes, wood stick. Put a brown color to mimic a wood. It should be enough, and you can render this one. You can also increase the camera here to be closer to our class. Scale this, and now we can render again. Combine, everything is nice and correct. And see the denoise version, completely denoise and completely nice. The last thing I want to teach you is how you can have this effect, the second one here, with the caustic behind on the background. So the first thing, we need to change the camera, duplicate the camera and rotate the camera to look from here. See, we need to cut through the geometry to see through here. So here we select this guy and we cut through the geometry. Then now we see that we don't see the background, but we have all the reflection coming from our studio here. And to add the caustic, you see here we need a diffuse surface, not a reflective surface. So what we need to do is to add another material, a matte material. We change the color to dark. You can even increase here to make it even rough. let it like this for the moment. So now it is a diffuse background, so you can see it here. And now what we need is to add a spotlight to have the reflection. So shift, add a spotlight here, light, spotlight. And this spotlight is down here. We can increase the size, the position here, and put it here, and we can reduce the size of the object, okay, so that we see what is going on here. So you start to see some stuff here, but we need the shape to be smaller, so something like 15, so it is more narrow. And now we need to add the light tracing. So this feature is there to compute direct caustics. So if you check it, you should be able to see some caustic here, but we have to position right our spotlight. You see here, but it's not strong enough, so increase the value. You start to see down here you have some caustic. You can increase the value, and position this object so that we have the caustic we want. So okay, maybe we increase the size. Okay, we make it even stronger, so you see the caustic here. So you can play with the position and everything and see what's happened. So next render, check a new slot on the render, switch the noise at the combine, and you see can go for the denoiser, and you see that we have a beautiful image. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot in this tutorial, and I will be seeing you the next time with another tutorial. Maybe it will be about jewelry, so stay tuned. Thank you.